what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Kareem's Bean Pie is also available at Davison Fresh Fish Market, 1520 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. Royal Fresh Fish and Seafood, 11429 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. And Great Canadian Fish, Chicken, and Seafood, 7601 East 7 Mile Road. Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
This is Rise prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray if they heard thy teachings. Say he Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, or praised besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. I'd like to recognize the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. We have Brother Ibrahim Muhammad from Tampa, Florida. We have the Rafiq family. We have Brother Minister Mutaquan Ali from Philly. We have Sister Barbara X from Virginia. We have Brother Mustafa and Sister Sharice from Ohio. And we have Minister Rashada from Atlanta. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Today, we want to talk about the May 16, 1969 Muhammad Speaks, and it's called She Had Become the Habitation of Devils. And we see the picture that the messenger had on the front cover is a picture of America burning, and all of the ships, the merchant ships that's in the water, and the people on the coast watching America burn. And it says, alas, alas, the great city where it made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her coastline. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. So the messenger says, and we starting in the middle of the article. The messenger says the Bible refers to America by the name Babylon and teaches us in Revelations 18:2. Babylon the Great is fallen and has become a habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So we never think about that. It say it's a habitation of devils.
Right.
Like you talk about the natural habitat or something. You know what I'm saying? It's saying that America is the habitation of devils and a cage of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So it's pretty much saying that every kind of devil here.
That's right.
It's the habitation for devils. Just a pure land of devils.
Right.
And the messenger said this is a wilderness of sin. That's what they call America, the wilderness of sin, because he said that the The white man in the Bible does not have a good name.
That's right.
So everything that describes them, where they live, who they are, it's an evil word. So the messenger goes on to say, this is true, for America has accepted immigrants of the most evil and lewd character. For from Europe, America has filled her country with evil and indecency, and there is no good in the works of America. America hates the doers of good and seeks to destroy them. This is the cause of the fall of America. He says the rich and powerful rulers of America, from the mayor of cities, the police commissioners, up to the president, work to oppose the black once slave return to his own. So the messenger says the presidents, the mayors, and the police commissioners all work together to prevent the rise of the black man.
That's right.
Now we want to look at some examples of that to see how does these mayors work to stop the black man from rise. This right here is a picture. This devil's name is Mayor Albert Cobo. You know, they about to rename Cobo Hall.
Right.
They named Cobo Hall after this death.
That's right.
This was a terrible death.
Right.
Because I remember going to school the first time. I didn't even know all of these years. Been living in Detroit. I didn't know that Cobo Hall was named after a mayor. I didn't know that until I got to college. All this time they named this place after a racist death. They ain't just name it after a death. They named it after one of the most racist devils in the state, Cobo.
Right.
And we learned in this class, it was a class that we took about the different names of the streets, the statues. I'm talking about everything. From the statues to Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. Racist devil.
Right.
Franklin, it's the Hall of Justice.
That's right.
They named after a racist devil. Street names, all that. And the black people, we sitting in the class like, wow. Every street, every statue, everything, and all of the history of Detroit. It's centered around racism. All of it. So, this devil, Mayor Albert Cobo. This comes from the Metro Times, February 20th, 2019. It says, home of North American International Auto Show. The center was originally named after Republican Albert Cobo, a corporate executive, real estate investor, and segregationist who served as mayor of Detroit from 1950 to 1957. He campaigned on the platform of Negro removal, which was a pledge to force black people out of predominantly white neighborhoods. This was his thing for his run for mayor.
Right.
Negro removal.
Yes, sir.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
This is what black people had to deal with in the 50s.
Right.
This ain't like we talking about the 20s or 30s. This the 50s. That ain't really that long ago.
That's right.
So it says Cobo denied federal funding for black housing projects, and when the city civil rights commission called him out, he disbanded the board. That's a devil.
That's right.
So they got a board to check, the checks and balances.
Right.
So when they call him out for what he doing wrong, he just disbanded. So it says he also dismantled the city's public housing program and forged a close alliance with anti-civil rights activists and white neighborhood associations. It says under Cobo, the construction of highways disseminated Detroit's historic black communities, Black Bottom and Paradise Valley, in 1956. Now, this is something else that we learned in school. Something that I didn't know either. All of the highways in America was designed to go through black communities. All of them. They were saying how when you riding on the expressway and you going through different towns. When they occur, because if you going on I-75, it's going south. But sometimes it start going east, sometimes it start going west, and sometimes it'll go south. So they told us that anytime the freeway is getting close to a white community, they said the construction workers would say, well, if we keep going south, we run into bad ground. So we got to turn the highway facing east, because that's the strong soil, the strong foundation. And that's where the black community is. Because they said that the reason why they called Black Bottom, it wasn't because of the black people that was there. They said that before the black people moved to Black Bottom, it was actually farmland. So the Black Bottom was the dirt or the earth or the good black soil that was there before they made it into city. So Black Bottom actually was for the farmers. So that's what we learned in school, that I'm talking about in Philadelphia, Chicago, all of the major freeways run through black communities, and they did all that on purpose. So this right here is a picture of Black Bottom. It says an aerial view of Hastings Street looking north from Mack and St. Antoine in 1959. Now we know Master Farad Muhammad came to Black Bottom. Right. When you look at the history of the Nation of Islam, the first temple was on Hastings Street. Right. Now this Hastings Street. Mm-hmm. Now look at all of these businesses. They said it was 400 businesses. That's right. And 7,000 families that was displaced when they tore up Black Bottom. Mm-hmm. And the Detroit Historic Society, they got all these pictures. They got pictures of the neighborhoods. They got pictures of all the black businesses, the hotels, the restaurants. Right. They was doing it big in Black Bottom. Right. I didn't know this stuff until you get grown and go to school and be looking like, dang, they tore down all of that. Now this was a picture in 1959. This is another picture of that same spot in 1961. In 2 years, they tore down all that, all of this in 2 years. All them black people. It was like, wow. So now where they gonna go? They just out of luck. And this is the type of stuff that's ongoing, because Black Bottom is just one example of the many things that they continuously do. Because after Black Bottom, then they had a red line. Well, they was talking about another thing we learned in class that I didn't know. They said there used to be a wall on 8 Mile that divided the blacks from the whites. And they told us where it was, but I forgot. But they said it was a wall on 8 Mile that divided the line from blacks and whites. They taught us about Henry Ford when he came here. How they set up cities was set up for the workers who worked at the plants. They was talking about how they used to give white people them loans for homes. Wouldn't give it to black people. I'm talking about going on and on and on and on. And we like, dang, this whole class was dedicated just to that. For a whole semester. We learned about all the racist stuff that went on in the city. And we thinking as kids, we thought that stuff happened in the South. That's the kind of idea that they make us think when you young. You think the racist white people is in the South. You know most of the racist devils. No. Them same devils who was in the South, because my father had told me that one time. He was like, you got to remember. He was like, when we was moving here from the South, getting them jobs at the plant, them devils was too. All praise due to Allah. And I never thought about that. He said they was joining the police force. So he was like, we was leaving the South to get away from them devils. But then when we get to the North, the same devil that was down south, Mississippi, now this devil on the police force. I'm like, wow. Just listening to them old people talk about
the stuff that was going on in the city. And the one thing that I could say that every black man that I talk to my uncles, my cousins, every black man I know, when we talk about the police, they all talk about stress and the big four.
Yes, sir. That's right.
All of them.
That's right.
Talk about how they had run-ins with them.
Yes, sir.
And how them devils used to do.
Yep.
And it's in Detroit. My daddy said they used to be standing on the corner. He said that the big four used to come around. He said they'd get on the walkie-talkie in the car, say, all right, niggas. And he said straight up, that's how they used to talk to him. All right, niggas.
All right.
When we come around the block,
That's right.
y'all better not be here.
That's right.
He said when they start making, that's when they start running. That's what I'm telling you. He said sometimes they get out the car and start chasing you and all kind of stuff that them devils used to do. So this is what happened to Black Bottom, Detroit, in 2 years. They displaced all them black people, and them black people had nowhere to go. Then, in this article, because this article was written February 20th, 2019. So, it says the Cobo area was marked by the wiping out of African American neighborhoods in the name of urban renewal, Mayor Duggan said. I don't believe our civic center with this name should be celebrated here. He trying to act like he a different kind of devil. You know, I don't think, Cobo was the racist.
Right.
I don't think this should be celebrated here. But let's talk about old Doug. Because it continues to go on and on and on and on.
Right.
There's a picture of old Doug.
Right. Yes, sir.
This is the present mayor of Detroit.
Yes, sir.
This right here, and I didn't know this until recently. Because I recently became friends of some sisters who real political on Facebook. So they was putting a lot, they be on it. Like all the political stuff. They was talking about these tax foreclosures. This right here is a picture of the city of Detroit. Now all of this is the city of Detroit, and this part right here is Highland Park and Hamtramck. All of this is the tax foreclosures that they had in Detroit since I think 2009 to 2015. All of this is tax foreclosures on people's house. After you done paid your mortgage, you've been living in your house 30, 40, 50 years, and now you get evicted because some taxes.
Yep.
So they wrote an article. This comes from the Metro. The Metro Times got a lot of good articles about the city. They got a lot of good articles. This was written July 1st, 2017. It says, the city of Detroit drastically overassessed the value of the homes of its poorest residents, meaning Detroiters have to pay property taxes at rates for higher than they should have. The Michigan Constitution states that homes must not be assessed at over 50% of their value. Now, assess means calculate or estimate the price or value. So, whatever they assess your value of your house is, your property taxes ain't supposed to exceed that. It's supposed to be the same. So they overassess the property value of these houses in the poor neighborhoods of the black people.
Right.
Overassessed. So it says, but as Bernadette Alton, a Harvard and Yale trained law professor visiting at Wayne State Law School, has pointed out in a study in recent editorials in the Detroit News and Detroit Free Press, between 2009 and 2015, the majority of homes were assessed at rates that violated the Constitution because the city has not been assessing properties based on market value. So what they were saying, when you read further, do research on these tax foreclosures, They was talking about first they foreclosed on all these houses. Then after they foreclose on all these houses, they become vacant. Because people ain't buying up all them houses like that. So a lot of the houses become vacant. Then after the vacancy comes the blight. The blight, it just raggedy and run down. That's how when you see all of these houses in the city that's run down in these neighborhoods, that's why. Because they was overassessed value of these houses. So they go on and the Detroit News, and this was January 31st, 2017. They asked old Doug, they asked him what's going on. How you feel about this overassessment? It says when the mayor was asked about these unconstitutional assessments during the press conference, he said that he would not consider reimbursements or reparations for tax foreclosures involving unconstitutional assessments because every homeowner had an opportunity to appeal the assessment. That's Duggan. See, he was talking about, this Cobo Hall thing, he was acting like, we don't need to be naming that and celebrating him.
Right.
But now this death. Because if you look at, they got that construction going on Livernois and 8 Mile. It ain't a black man on it. The city, 80% black. They ain't got a black man on it. When they fixing the lodge, ain't got a black man on it. Sometimes they even get Mexicans to come and fix the street. They put Kwame in jail, for 28 years? For giving contracts to black people. But what about Duggan?
Right.
About all these contracts these white people getting in a city that's 80% black?
That's right.
It's supposed to represent the workforce, is supposed to represent the people in the community. Because if you go to where white people live, you don't see black people doing construction. Black people fixing the roads and doing all that. It's white people doing that.
Right.
But then white people come back here and get the same contracts, hookups from these white mayors.
That's right.
And they don't go to jail. Don't nobody even be investigating them. Not at all. So it goes on to say, but studies show that affluent people are more likely to appeal assessments and also more likely to win than poor and minority populations. In fact, Duggan recounted a story of how he fought for multiple years to help his former girlfriend to contest her inflated property assessment. He said that the battle went on so long that by the time they won, he had moved on from that relationship and married his wife, who did not understand while he was still helping his ex-girlfriend. It says if Duggan, who has first-class legal training and was once a prosecutor, had an uphill battle to contest a property's inflated assessment, why does he expect average Detroiters who go through the same travails with far less expertise and awareness of their rights? It is the city's job to assess properties according to the law.
That's right.
All praise due to the law.
That's right.
But that's what the devil do.
That's right.
The devil come up with this nonsense. They know they over-assessing. Because they know when you paying your property taxes or not. They know all that.
Right.
They know how much you supposed to pay. So they know they over-assessing your property. So they continue to do it. They foreclose on your home. Know that they over-assessed you. Then they say, well, no, we ain't going to give them none because they should have fought it. After you displaced. So Mike Duggan, the other devil, he ain't with reparations for black people to get, when your home is foreclosed for taxes. But one thing Mike Duggan is for, they got this thing called opportunity zones. Something else I just found out about. I had to look up because this looked to me like opportunity zone. I'm like, wow, what's an opportunity zone? This right here, let's read what an opportunity zone is. This comes from the Detroit Free Press, February 13, 2019. it says the latest tax break to come under fire is the opportunity zone idea passed as part of the nation's recent tax changes. The nation's. So they got opportunity zones here in Detroit, but this is a nationwide thing. And then they talking about the opportunity zone idea. They be presenting it like we was just trying to see, how it was gonna work out. So they said the zones allow investors to keep most or all of the profits derived from investing in designated areas of cities like Detroit instead of paying hefty capital gain taxes on them. This devil get free taxes. I've been living in my house for 50 years. You over-assess me and kick me out. But now, my area is an opportunity zone for the devil to come here and make money off of my house or my land that you done over-assess. This is something that they are targeting these devils, telling them like they got big tracts of land of opportunity zone. It ain't like they got some block. Huge tracts of land for this opportunity zone stuff. Well, all of these white people can come here and get free taxes. I remember when I was going to Wayne State, we was in a class and we just was talking about, we had just, in classes, topics just come up and people just start arguing about stuff. So this was when I had got my first house in Oak Park and I was going through that inflated, the property tax thing that they was doing in 2000, I think it was 2007 or something like that. So this devil had just was saying, she lived in Corktown. She said to get us to live in Corktown, we don't pay property tax. I'm like, so you mean tell me you don't have to pay, but we got to pay it? Why you won't have to pay it? So it's optional with the property tax thing. So they can say, well, to get them to stay, we'll just eliminate their property tax. And she was just saying it like they do that for everybody. Because she was young too. We was in college. She was young. She wasn't no older lady. She was just saying like, and she said it so like that's what they do. I don't pay property tax. But the brothers in the city, in the other part of the city, you get a tax foreclosure on your house because they overassessed you. But she don't even have to pay property taxes.
Right.
This white girl. That's the devil.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
That's the devil. And they constantly coming up with more stuff to prevent the black man's rise. Because when we see this stuff, we always look at it like, oh, he ain't paying his taxes. Like it's on him. Oh, he ain't paying his house note. That's why he foreclosed. Oh, he ain't do this. Making it look like it's on them. But we don't see how this devil got the behind the scene things for the whole country.
That's right.
Not just the city of Detroit. Because even they got articles writing about Mike Ilitch. They were talking about how he was supposed to, with these tax breaks he was saying he was going to build up this stuff because our property taxes, the black man paid for all of that. The black man, the same people who they ripping off, the same people who they get these white people these contracts don't give us nothing, we paying for all of that.
That's right.
Our property taxes, while we getting property tax foreclosures and everything, we still paying for these devils to be here and live in the lap of luxury. While they getting tax breaks.
Right.
So they got articles on him because he was saying that when he built up all of this stuff, he was going to come and invest in the communities. Now it's time to put the money in the community. He just not doing it. Well, he ain't going to jail. Ain't nobody investigate him. He just say, I ain't doing it. You can write all the articles you want to write on me. I'm just not doing it. That's how they do. So it says the idea is that to encouraging development by letting investors keep most or all of their capital gains from projects will draw in more needed investment. In Michigan, the state designated hundreds of individual census tracts, including dozens in the city of Detroit, as opportunity zones. So that's the white man. Our city that we paying property taxes on is opportunity zones for the devil.
Right.
So when you see them walking and riding through, this is an opportunity zone
Right.
for them. That's why they're here. You looking at it like, how this man got boats and all of these jet skis and all. This is an opportunity zone for the devil.
That's right.
It's different for you.
That's right.
All praise to Allah. 'Cause I know sometimes when we will be working, sometimes the brothers will be sitting around like, how these devils got all these boats and stuff? We work at the same job. Devil got all kind of stuff going on, all kind of vacations overseas. They living it up. This is an opportunity zone for the white man.
That's right.
That's why they get to live the way they live. And the messenger says, he says, evil and filth is the God and worship of America. He says, never has a people on the face of the earth become so bold in their evil practice. This devil is bold with his evil practice.
That's right.
They just came out with the brother. His name is Michael Yoruba, the actor, who talking about he like transgender women.
Yeah, that's right.
This brother played on Why Did I Get Married? I'm looking like, what? And I'm talking about he ain't ashamed.
That's right. You are. Sure.
He ain't ashamed. He came out like, yo, I like transgender women. Got children and everything. Like, shh, that's what I like. On talk shows, tell them that's what I like. I ain't gay. I just like transgender women. Just bold. We saw, it was on the Detroit River. They had this boat that had the gay pride flag on it. I'm talking about look like that princess boat. Riding on the Detroit River like, oh. And then you look at ain't nothing but men on this big old boat. Like just bold with their evil.
That's right.
Not ashamed.
Right.
So when they practice this evil so bold in front of us, we start being bold with it too. Because we follow after the devil.
Right. Right.
So the messenger says, never before America has there been a nation on the face of the earth where scores of murders take place daily and nightly. In one large metropolitan city of America, the death rate is terrific. Children kill children, male is against male, and female is against female, destroying each other. He says the woman has no shyness. The American designers and manufacturers dress the woman up in about 1/3 of a dress and turn her out partly nude before the public.
Right.
Now that's what this devil do. Because when they had these devils half naked in front of the black man, we quick to imitate that. So the devil have these half naked white women because this is, her name is Taylor Swift. This is that red carpet thing. Because most sisters, when they look at this red carpet thing, looking at it for the fashion. I want to see how they dress, the latest styles. So the white man put these half-naked devils in front of us to influence us that it's all right. It's all right to be half-naked. They taking us and making us a mockery before the world. Because we can't do what they do. It's in their nature to be naked.
That's right.
They was naked in the caves.
That's right.
They are people who from the bottom and coming up. We was the people at the top and at the bottom.
That's right.
So when we imitate them, we make ourselves a mockery. Because other nations don't respect all this filth and indecency.
That's right.
But since America's so rich and powerful, they can't stop them. So what you gonna say? So, but when we do it, they look at us like, look at these niggas. Look at they women. Because when these Arab men get these stores in our community, they never let their women come here. Never. But they'll hire our women to come work for them. They won't even let their women come in here. They'll be flirting with our women and everything. But if they women got a job, it's in Dearborn somewhere. They don't come around us. When you got these hair and nail shops from these Koreans and stuff, they don't respect black people. Nobody that come here respects black people. That's why the messenger said this is a habitation of devils.
Right.
A cage and a hold of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Every unclean and hateful bird. And they prevent the rise of the black man. Because when the white man lets all of these people come over here, they all take advantage of our condition. Because not only do they give them contracts to white people, But also these other foreign people who have businesses, they get
That's right.
just to be in here living off the black man. All these people who kids we sending to college, kids who doctors and lawyers off us. Well, it's hard for us to send our kids to college.
That's right.
And they living off us. That's the white man.
That's right.
And the messenger says, he says, what kind of little girl can we expect from a mother who is walking around one half naked and is displaying herself to the world, dressing in such dress that no animal would wear? There is more shyness displayed in animals than there is in a so-called Christian American dress and a mini dress. Because not only do they show us the woman, but they show us the white man with the white woman in her naked stuff. To make us think it's cool for you to be with your wife or your woman like this. Because the black man want to be like the white man. It's just what it is. So if the white man got his woman half naked, then you would see Jay-Z and Beyonce doing the same thing. Because they do this to influence us, to prevent the rise of the black man. All praise due to Allah. Because the messenger said we got to be qualified to be reunited with our people. It ain't no thing where there's some spooky thing like the end gonna come and we all just gonna be one big happy family. That's how we think. We have to be qualified to reclaim our own. Qualified. This ain't qualified. The white man know it ain't qualified. The messenger gave us the standard to what qualifies us to be reunited with our people. This ain't it. The messenger got MGT class for the sisters to learn how to dress to be qualified to be reunited with our own. The white man showing you stuff that's totally different from that. And we live in a generation where now the MGT ain't so proud to be covered up today. Because if you go on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, any of the social media accounts, and you go to Muslim sisters' Facebook page, up to I say 99% of sisters don't cover today. 99%. You will see sisters who be covered on Sunday, but through the week, no headpiece at all. I'm talking about high heels, going to the casinos, all of that. Following after the death. But yet, they get to come to the temple. That's because what we fail to understand, when you got Islam, Islam is a community of people. When you have Islam. When you look at them Muslim countries, it's a community of people who practice in Islam. It ain't no individual thing. Where if this sister don't cover her head, it ain't got nothing to do with me. No, this is a Muslim community. So if this sister ain't covering her hair as a community, we supposed to see something wrong with that. All praise due to Allah. That's how they do it overseas. You can't even drink alcohol flying in a plane over a Muslim country. Because it's a Muslim community. It ain't no individual thing. We all Muslims. If one of us see something wrong, we all see something wrong. All praise due to Allah. But we don't see it like that in this new school stuff. If a sister don't wear her headpiece, the brothers won't really say nothing on her page where she's showing a picture without her headpiece on. But they'll say something to her in her garment. You will sympathize. That's what it is. Because I remember, and I always got to go back to the military, because I think the military and the Nation of Islam is the same, from my experience. And what I hear about Roscoe Muhammad's and Captain Joseph, it was the same. They was the same. So when we would have people who would break the rules in the military, they wanted to know who all saw it. It's the first thing. Ain't no, oh, he just ain't shining shoes. If he ain't shining shoes and he walked all the way back there in the sergeant's song, sergeant want to know, where did you come from? I came from over there. He gonna walk over there and see all these people over there. Y'all saw him? He ain't shining shoes? Ain't none of y'all say nothing? All of y'all. Because it's all for one and one for all. It ain't no, oh, that's just her. We just gonna leave, because a lot of times what these weak brothers say, we want to let the sisters handle it. You know, we see a sister without her headpiece on, let the sister, no. Sisters handle what they handle in MGT class. That's the sisters handle it stuff, because we used to have that in the military too. Let's keep it within our department. Let's keep it on the ship. If you walk on base, ain't no more keeping it in your department, keeping it on the ship. Not everybody saw you.
Right.
It's a community. It ain't no individual stuff. The laws and the rules apply to everybody.
Right.
It ain't no individual thing. So if you see a sister and she ain't got her headpiece on, you in it now. You saw her.
That's right.
You a Muslim. At the very least, you sister, you don't, why you ain't got your headpiece on?
Right. Right.
At the least.
That's right.
Why you ain't got your headpiece? Anybody can say that. It ain't got to be no sister.
That's right.
All praise to Allah. Anybody, because if you mad about it, if you don't like it, you going to say something.
That's right.
If you don't like it.
Right.
I don't care if, sister, what's up with her? Yeah, you ain't even go ask and say, MG, hey, did you know this sister ain't got her headpiece on?
Right.
You know that? But if you don't care, you act like, oh, well, I just let them handle it. No.
Right.
If you see it and you a Muslim in your heart, you going to say something.
That's right.
Or you going to say something to somebody. Yo, brother, did you see sister such and such? She over there, she ain't got no headpiece on, bro. What's up with that? That's how you act.
That's right.
When it's in your heart. Another thing that we learn in the white man's military, it's about the heart of the man. It ain't about all of this for show stuff. I remember we used to have drills. Sometimes you would expect the real muscle-bound person to go through the drill and just breeze through it. Sometimes a little pipsqueak, the one who you look at look like he weak, outshine the muscle-bound brother. Or you would have where the muscle-bound brother would breeze through it, but the puny one would still show heart. He wouldn't give up. He wouldn't quit. He'll fail and he'll get back up.
Right.
The drill sergeant would still put him in charge even though he failed because he got heart. Oh, praise to Allah. It ain't got nothing to do with all of this for show stuff.
Right.
Putting on no suit and bow tie, you know martial arts, I'm a FOI. No, that don't mean nothing.
That's right.
It all starts with the heart.
That's right.
If Islam ain't in your heart, you will see a sister who ain't got her headpiece on and make up an excuse talking about leaving with the sister. Ain't no leaving it with no sister. They blew that when they left out of MGT class.
That's right.
All praise to Allah. If she was in MGT class, we don't go in there and bother them. But if she ain't in MGT class, it's all our problem. Nah, that's Islam.
Right.
Because the messenger was getting us on the path to be living in a Muslim community. And that's how Muslims act.
That's right.
When we was over in the Muslim community, in the military, they would tell us, if you do certain things, they will kill you. That's Muslims. They didn't care nothing about us being in the military. All that military stuff, you on the boat, but you in our country now. So you spit on the ground, we don't spit on the ground here.
Right.
So you might get your head bust for spitting on the ground.
Right.
They used to have to tell us, because our culture as Western people is totally different. Totally different. The stuff that we do offends other people. Like spitting on the ground. Who would think spitting on chewing gum. Chewing gum and spitting it on the ground in some places would get you in trouble. Just chewing gum and spitting on the ground. Look at how you look at people. All that. When you go to Muslim countries. So Muslim is a community. And Muslims begins with our heart. And when the messenger taught the sisters how to dress, it's in your heart.
That's right.
It's a video out. It's talking about the messenger's grandchildren. This sister owned this video because she a Sunni now. They was asking her about the transition from Wallace to, or from the messenger to Wallace. She said she couldn't wait. Because this is a new video I saw. She said she couldn't wait for Wallace to take over. She was like, all of that time, now she the messenger's granddaughter. She see him. She spending personal time with him. She said, I couldn't wait for Wallace to take over. Because what a lot of Muslims said that Wallace did in that 74 year. They said he was going around to all the temples looking for the dissatisfaction. All that sisters don't want to wear their headpiece. Because it's in your heart. You can tell if it ain't in your heart. So the weak Muslim is always looking for the dissatisfaction. But the difference between the dissatisfaction during the message, they had to hide it more.
That's right.
MGT can be an open snake now. She cannot wear her headpiece and show her dissatisfaction, and the Muslims won't even care.
Right.
That's dissatisfaction.
That's right.
When you don't wear your headpiece. That's something big.
That's right.
That ain't something small.
That's right.
When it's in your heart, it's something big.
That's right.
When it ain't in your heart, it's something small. Because we had another incident on social media. This sister was redesigning the fez, they say. This was a fez of the messenger where the sisters used to wear the fez. But in the picture, she had a long ponytail. And her ponytail was to her waist. Now, she didn't have a ponytail in the back, you know, to try to hide the ponytail and have it in the back and just have. She took the ponytail and put it over her shoulder. Let everybody know. Got my ponytail.
Yeah.
So all of these weak Muslims who shared this picture put under the picture MGT elegance. It was like, we so proud that our young MGT is, you know, trying to bring back the fairs of the 70s. That's dissatisfaction.
Yes. That's right.
She's showing her dissatisfaction to all these weak Muslims.
That's right.
Just like Wallace.
That's right.
You want to see the dissatisfaction, because first you start small. You don't start real big. The big dissatisfaction is when you don't say nothing to the little stuff. Because the weak Muslim is always, like the message say, always trying to put one over.
That's right.
Always trying to put one over.
Right.
So they start small. See what you going to say. Let me come in here with a form-fitting MGT garment. See who's going to say something.
Right.
You know, I ain't going to have it super tight.
Yeah.
Just have it just tight enough,
Right.
you know, where you would be thinking like, is she trying to have her MGT garment tighter? Oh, baby, do
Right.
That's a snake.
That's right.
Yeah.
She trying.
That's right.
She want to see who going to say something. Then after don't nobody say none of that, let me let a little bit of hair hang out.
Right. That's right.
See who about to say something to that. Next thing you know, because most of the time it's going to be them pretty sisters with all that. The hair stuff and the tight garments. Because most times brothers going to be weak for them pretties. Most times.
Yeah.
They're going to look at that pretty sister like, no, I ain't going to say nothing to her. Because this sister who with the ponytail, she was an attractive looking sister. Nice hair. Let me put my little ponytail. Brothers going to say, we going to keep that, you know. We going to let the MGT handle that one.
Yeah.
We ain't going to. No! You don't let no MGT. Sister, where your headpiece at?
That's right.
Oh, praise to Allah. I don't even see that fez that you talking about. That bringing back the fez of the 70s. All I see is that ponytail.
Right. Right.
All I see. I don't see no. Well, I ain't even know you had no fez on. All I see was that ponytail.
Right.
That's when Islam is in your heart.
That's right.
Care nothing about all that. This our nation.
That's right.
This nation don't belong to no one person.
Yes, sir.
As the messenger said, he said, if you sit around and you don't say nothing, they'll band together and put you out.
That's right.
That's what he said.
That's right.
I wasn't here to experience Wallace. I only hear stories about him. But I was here to see that big eye in Chicago with that Scientology stuff.
Right.
He sit around, brothers don't say nothing, you see stuff you know ain't right. Then he made them an ultimatum with that Scientology stuff. He didn't say, yeah, I found this Scientology stuff and everybody who want to be a part of it, let's just do this. He said, no. He said, you will not be able to hold a post in the Nation of Islam if you don't go and get the dime next.
What he say?
Ain't all praise due to Allah. No, brother. Ain't no one person got that much power over the Nation of Islam like that.
That's right.
You don't give no ultimatums.
That's right.
Telling nobody nothing about if you can't hold no. Who is you?
That's right.
This our nation.
That's right.
That's why it's good for the believers to be small. We can start out our foundation like the message say, how strong is the foundation?
That's right. That's
We can
right.
build a foundation on the message.
That's right.
Ain't nobody got no power to tell no believer that you can't stand no post. If you qualified to stand the post. You been standing the post. You look like I'm a minister. I put in all this hard work for this. Then this brother gonna tell me in my nation, you can't stand no post. Man, you crazy.
That's right.
You crazy.
That's right.
Where all the brothers at? That's what you should be. Where did y'all hear him say that?
Right.
You gonna steal that? No, brother. That shows brothers ain't got it in their heart today.
Right. That's right.
Most brothers don't.
That's right.
Most sisters don't. Because these hypocrites is running the Nation of Islam today.
That's right.
Ain't no way no person is supposed to allow no sister to come to the temple without their headpiece on.
That's right.
The nation is ran by hypocrites and weak Muslims.
That's right.
To allow that to happen.
Yes,
Because
sir.
I always got to go back to the military. They got women in the military. They got a head standard for women. How they supposed to wear their hair. Because in the military, every military got regulations on how you supposed to wear your uniform. It ain't no thing where you wear it how you want to wear it, where the sister can just wear her ponytail. It's regulations on how you supposed to wear your uniform.
That's right.
So the devil teach them women, this is how long your hair can be. It can't be below this certain length. So in the military, you got female Marines who sleep out in the rain. Female Marines who eat MREs. That ain't even real food. That's just something to keep you going. They away from their family. They in hostile enemy lands for most of your time. They still follow the rule. So how can you have a MGT that's here? She go home every day, sleeping in her bed. She ordering pizzas on the weekend. She work when she want to work. She ain't in no hostile environment. Why she can't cover her hair?
That's right. That's right.
What reason do you give for a sister can't? Because you weak. That's
right.
why.
That's right.
You let her come to the temple because everybody in that temple weak.
That's
why.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah. That's something big when you talking about a military. I can't relate to this new school stuff.
That's up.
Because the white man is the devil's military and we say this is God's military.
That's right.
The stuff that I see among these sisters and brothers, I ain't never saw with the white man. That's a shame. Because when we was in the white man's military, we was immoral. We was immoral. The stuff we used to do in the white man's military, I don't even like to share some of that stuff now that I'm a Muslim. We was immoral. We used to go to these places and tear the town up. But when we put that uniform on, all that ain't here nor there. It was yes sir, no sir. All of that. You wore your uniform the way you were supposed to wear it. But now, we come in this new school stuff. Sister don't wear a headpiece, don't nobody say nothing. You got thousands of Muslims. See this sister. Not one person said nothing. Now, MGT elegance mean you ain't got your headpiece on. Hypocrites.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Change the teaching of the message.
That's right.
They don't like the headpiece.
That's right.
But they don't want to lead like the messenger said.
That's right.
They don't want to lead.
That's right.
So they changed what MGT elegance mean. MGT elegance mean I got my ponytail on with my face. That's what MGT elegance mean. And all the weak Muslims like, hey,
Yeah.
at least she trying to wear the garment.
Yeah.
That's weak Muslim stuff.
That's right.
Exactly what that is.
Go to the white man's military and tell one of the Marine sisters, well, at least she in the military. You wouldn't tell them that.
No.
Because the way that devil tell you to wear your uniform, you wear it like that.
That's right.
You don't question him.
Right.
It's yes sir and no sir. I didn't even, when I was in the military, when they taught us stuff, you don't even think to really ask. Because once you be in a community, you just do what the people do. They say when you in Rome, you do as the Romans do. So when they told us how to wear our uniform, I never thought to be like, well, why we can't do it another kind of way? It's just like you sitting there listening to them like, oh, that's how we supposed to wear it?
Yeah.
This is how we supposed to do?
Right.
Because you're around other people who ain't playing no games. So it's like, okay,
Right.
that's how we, but when you're around weak Muslims, they can have an MGT class. So they still ain't covering their hair. What you teaching in MGT class? You can have FOI. Talk all that. FOI mean the military training of the men that belong inside. This sister can walk past the captain. You don't say nothing. You saluting the messenger's picture. You got drill. Drill means the foundation of military discipline that compels the habits of obedience as the unit moves together as one.
That's right.
That's what that means.
Right.
That drill and stuff don't mean nothing to win no competition. It ain't for that. That's the extra stuff. But the point of drill is for us to move together as one. So all the MG, all praise to Allah. That's the point. That's why the devil taught us it's in your heart.
Yes.
That's right.
When it's in your heart, all that competition stuff ain't important to you.
That's right.
When it's in your heart.
That's right.
Once you learn the meaning of drill and what it is, that's good enough for me.
Yes,
We ain't got to be doing no competition. That ain't what it is. Especially if sisters ain't covering their head.
Right.
Before we do another drill competition, them sisters need to learn how to cover their head first.
That's right.
They need to learn how to do, before we do all of this fancy stuff,
Right.
they need to do first things first. That's what
That's
Master
right.
say, first things first. Put first things first. You don't talk about coming out with no feds if the sisters ain't even covering their head up in the regular thing. You don't need no feds.
Right.
Cover it up in the regular stuff.
Right.
That's what you need to do. But you don't have no backbone.
Right.
FOI is a military train. That's garbage. Well, if all of these sisters, now you go on your social media account, go down the list. Look at these sisters. I'm talking about sisters be having on low-cut blouses right at the top of their breasts. But yet they be in MGT. Don't nobody say nothing. It's like you can't put a sister out for that. No. Sisters need to be on the street.
That's right.
But what they love to say in this new school stuff, oh, the proper handling of people. They used to have that stuff in the white man's military too. That's why them people who used to drop that hammer used to be the polite ones. They find the most polite brother who gonna live. I hear you, man, you know, but tell him all that proper hand. No, you gotta put proper handling the people in the perspective of the messenger.
Yes.
You can't put proper handling the people in perspective of these new school do what you want to do must.
That's right.
Because proper handling the people mean let them do what they want to do. Proper handling the people mean if this sister ain't wearing her hair, oh sister, you know,
Right.
That ain't no proper handling the people.
No.
What about the sisters who trying to cover? What about them?
That's right.
What about the proper handling of the people who trying to do it right?
Right.
We always think proper handling of people mean for the one who ain't trying to do it right. No, you get rid of them. That's the proper handling of the people. That's the proper handling of the people.
That's right.
That's what the proper handling of the people telling you. For the people who following the rule.
Right.
You treat the proper people, the people who follow the rule, you say, yes sir, brother, come on, brother, you can do it.
Yes, sir.
But with that one who ain't following the rules, you get out of here.
That's right.
That's the proper handling of the people.
That's
Don't mean nothing about no sympathizing.
Right.
But that's what we take it as
Yeah.
in this new school stuff.
Right.
Like I'm supposed to talk to the rule breaker like, come on, brother, you know, no, brother, look, you got one more time, brother.
That's right. That's right.
That's the proper handling of people. Because you got to consider everybody when you an official, when you in charge. Everybody. You got to consider these snakes is destroying everybody.
That's right.
So the proper handling of people for these rule breakers, put them out.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
That's right.
That's why I thank Allah for my military experience, brother. I seen it all.
Yes, sir.
I seen how they drop that hammer.
Right.
I seen how they treat the people who doing right. That hammer drop.
Right.
And they always had that one who gonna listen and the one who, oh, you know, okay, listen to him talk, okay, but you still got them 30 days.
Right. That's
You
right.
still got them 30 days, you know. We'll see you when you get back. That's how they used to be. Because every time they dropped the hammer, they didn't always try to find, the thing that the white man understood is you got to push a brother or a sister to the limit. That's what all that hollering and screaming and stuff. You ain't trying to destroy a person's self-esteem and belittling a person. You just trying to build them up. That's the whole purpose for the rules. But we don't understand that in this new school stuff. We think that the rules is something against us. So we try to act like you supposed to be with the no. You supposed to push people to the limit. When the sister first come in, she ain't gonna understand nothing about no headpiece.
That's right.
Because them weak sisters be talking about if we be so strict, then we won't attract the young. Well, then the young won't come.
That's right.
Then the young, that's proper handling the people. It's people who gonna do it.
Right.
It's people who gonna accept. What about them?
Right.
You, for a person who you don't even know gonna accept or not, you gonna mess it up for the people who try? That ain't proper handling the people.
That's right.
You keep the strictness. Because people, it takes time for it to get in your heart.
Yes, sir.
But these hypocrites and these weak Muslims don't want it in your heart.
That's right.
They want to act like they want it all fast, so we're going to stop with all the strictness. No, the strictness, put it in their heart. All praise due to Allah. When you have a sister or a brother, come see how strict it is. Time and time and time again, it's putting it in their heart. They making up in their mind, is this what I want to do? Do I want to be a Muslim or not? I see these sisters covering their hair, and I always see them covering that. Do I want to cover my hair? That's what the rules do.
That's right.
That's the proper handling of the people. The proper handling of people don't mean sympathize. The proper handling of people don't mean give them chance after chance after chance after chance.
Right.
You destroying them. Proper handling of people mean you got to consider everybody. You got to consider the people who got it in their heart plus the people who don't. And the people who don't need to leave.
That's right. That's
All
right.
praise due to Allah. Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I leave you as I came in the nation of Islam, greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Praise Allah. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, the alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down.
nor those who go astray have they heard thy teachings. Say he Allah's one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served worship to praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil.